The first day of the civil new year has been March the 1st. That's why we have September, October, November, December, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're 10 months in the Roman calendar. First day of the year was March the 1st. The Christians then thought, well, we're celebrating Christmas on the 25th, so the most important day of the year was the 25th of March, the day he was conceived and became a human being. And so that became the New Year's for a long, long time. It finally got around to being January 1st, where we keep it today. But even before it was the first day of the civil year, it was the 8th day of Christmas. And that was very important because the feasts of the early church, the big feasts, Christmas, Epiphany, Easter, Pentecost, they were all kept for 8 days. And usually they were holidays, which is a good thing, I suppose. 8 days to consider and meditate and reflect on what we were celebrating. So this is the 8th day, the octave day of Christmas. And in modern times, it has been designated the Feast of Mary, Mother of God, because she obviously so prominently appears in the story of Christmas. So what does the message of the first day of the year, the Feast of Mary, the Mother of God, have to say to us? I think the gospel carries the burden. The gospel tells us of 2 ways of responding to this great gift that we are celebrating, the gift of God become one of us. Mary is like us. She really didn't grasp what was going on. Let's be honest. What could a young teenage girl understand about this marvelous, unusual, extraordinary, miraculous thing that had happened in her life? But she went along with what God had revealed. And we live like that. We live day by day. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what our life is going to be a month from now, a day from now. But we trust in the God who calls us to live this life, just as Mary trusted the God who called her to live a life which eventually brought us Jesus the Savior. We do live in the dark, but we trust in the light that God will give us day by day as we move forward towards our destiny, like Mary did. The shepherds also give us a different approach to responding to what we have experienced. What did they do? I'm sure they knew less than Mary, even after angels tell them these wonderful things. These were simple people. These were uneducated men. And yet they followed the directions that were given to them, and they had this wonderful experience, but didn't always comprehend it. I wonder how many of the shepherds actually became disciples of Jesus in the years ahead. But whatever they did, and this is the example for us, whatever they understood, they shared it with other people, as it says in the scripture today. They told people what had happened in their life, what God had brought to them, and they spread the good news, perhaps not even realizing they were doing it, just by talking about this aspect of their life, which we so often keep very, very quiet and hidden and private. We never talk about, my father told me, never talk about religion or politics. Well, I think he was wrong on both counts. I think we have to share what we have experienced and what we believe. That's all God asks of us. To be a reflecting person, to be a person who ponders life like Mary did, but that means to bring ourselves consciously into the presence of God on a regular basis in prayer. And there's no better resolution for the first day of the year to allot a certain amount of time every day to pondering, to reflecting, to praying. Don't need words, don't need books. All we need is time. And if we give God time alone, God will fill up that time with himself.